summary judgment motion, and this is Carlos Rincon.
Yes, sir.
Are you
On your-
referring to summary judgment in the Jenkins versus Ford case?
I am.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. We'll stand by that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, if everybody's here on everything else, I'd like to take care of those first. All right, Mr. Marufo, whenever you're ready. Oh, we are ready. Sorry, I failed to see the YouTube. Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court docket for September 21st, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case?
First page, good judge, in cause number 2022 DCV 0662, Williamington Savings Fund Society et al. Versus Charlie Jones Jr. et al. Announcement of council, please.
Travis Gray, attorney for the plaintiff.
Your Honor, Hector A. Beltran, the attorney ad litem on behalf of the unknown heirs.
Okay, I guess my question's gonna be for Mr. Beltran. How are we doing? And I don't see you.
Your
There
Honor,
you.
Yes, Your Honor, joining us today on the phone are three of the heirs, Veronica Silva, Claudia Arce, and from the Philippines, I believe Mr. Let me see, I saw him a little while ago. Enrique Silva is also joining us. Your Honor, my office reached out. We sent some letters, actually made some cold calls, and we were able to get in contact with Ms. Claudia Arce. And through Claudia Arce, we've now made contact with her sister Veronica Silva, her brother Enrique Silva, and we are now aware of who the heirs are. They would like the opportunity to speak with Mr. Gray's, or at least his client, and discuss curing any default that there is, and see about keeping the property within the family. And Mr. Gray has graciously agreed to run that down, get us updated numbers, and then it'll be up to the heirs to meet amongst themselves and figure out if there's a way to keep the home and cure the default and resolve the case that way. So
That's wonderful. Mr. Beltran, thank you so much. I know we'd come back a couple of times, but I had no doubt that you weren't diligently doing what you needed to. Mr. Gray, what kind of turnaround time do you think? I would just set you for a status conference. So what kind of turnaround time?
So Hector, I just sent you an email. Under federal law, or under the mortgage servicing rules, they're considered successors in interest to the borrower. So they have the full ability to negotiate, to discuss loss mitigation, reinstatement payoff, and there's also housing assistance funds available to them. I sent you the phone number for them to contact Carrington, and they just need to tell them I'm a successor in interest. They might ask for some documentation, but it has to be reasonable, the request.
Right.
Give them the loan number, which I sent you as well. And then at that point, they will be considered a successor in interest to be able to, there's a lot of money out there, a lot of programs. I have a feeling, I'm very confident, once they get in touch with them and provide that information, my file will probably be put on hold or closed very quickly. But now that we've identified them, they just need to hit the gas and do it directly with them. That's kind of their procedure. But so yes, for us, I don't know, 60 days, but we probably
That's where I am. I'm at 60 days, at least for an update.
Okay.
But maybe we'll have something even better than that. So if you all will continue to remain in contact, thank you for sharing those resources, Mr. Gray, and we'll see where we are in 60 days. Mr. Beltran, are you good with that?
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Okay, well, I appreciate your efforts, and to Ms. Arce and Silvas, thank you for also helping out with all of this. So we'll see you all in 60 days status conference.
Good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Perfect.
All are excused. Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care. Bye-bye.
Who's next?
Staying on page one, Judge. In cause number 2022 DCV 1643, Alexander Ramos versus Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company. Announcement of council, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Austin Gunnels for the plaintiff. Good morning, Judge Alessandra Martinez for the defendant.
Okay, good morning. Scheduling status conference. Are we ready for a trial setting next year? And our
We
schedule?
are, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's look at, let's see, we're in September. Oh, we can do September. Oh, let's do September. September 8th. Any conflicts, real conflicts that you know of?
Not for us, Judge.
I don't believe I have any either, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go with that date. We'll get you the scheduling order. If you would please complete it, sign it, return it before the 2-week setting, and we won't need to see you in 2 weeks. And then if anything outside of that requires a hearing, please notify the court via email with your pleading attached requesting hearing, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care, guys. You're excused. Who's
Thank
next?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Staying on page 1, Judge, in cause number 2019, DCV 2381, James Curry versus JAI Dining Services, El Paso Inc. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Oscar Mendes on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning, Neil Stockbridge and Brian Rawson on behalf of defendant.
Good morning, gentlemen. We're here for a final civil pretrial, but we don't have a trial date because things were looking good, I think, last time. I hope that hasn't changed, but what's going on?
Yeah, seems like we got all the lien info that we were waiting for. We still continue to negotiate amongst ourselves. I don't know if mediation would be more fruitful for all parties. I know we mediated once, but that was when we didn't have the lien information.
Okay. Realistically, Mr. Stockbridge, I don't have a problem if you all need a deadline by which to maybe take another stab at mediation. I'm agreeable to that. My only question is going to be then how soon I can set you all in the event that we're not resolved at mediation. And I can tell you now that we're at September, almost the end of September here. 2022 might be difficult. We may be looking at 2023 and kind of thinking about what the court schedule looks like. We're probably, more than a few months into 2023.
I would, at least from my standpoint, Your Honor, I would prefer a trial date. That way it puts the fire to both of us.
Mr. Stockbridge.
Your Honor, we agree. It'd probably be in everyone's interest to go ahead and get a trial setting. We're okay with 2023. I don't know what your sort of outlook is on availability, but yeah, whatever you have open in early 2023, if that's open. If not, we understand, we can move it later.
Okay, well, let me see. I see January 20th, 2023. Myrna, can you double check me on that?
And what about February and March? I know January is sometimes hard to, or this January might be difficult. And I'm sorry, would you repeat that January? Did you say 20th?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think that should be okay. But if you want to check any alternative dates, I don't know what Mr. Mendez's availability
Yeah,
is
the
on
20th
that.
looks good by us, Your Honor.
I think I'll take that one. Because there's nothing standing out to me. Let me go back a week.
There is
Yeah.
no special settings on that, Judge.
And looking right here, I don't see any jail defendants on that date. So let's specially set it for January 20th. So your docket call will be the 18th. And then if we backtrack, then the final civil pretrial will be on December 7th at 10:30 a.m. And your mediation deadline will be December 6th. That's pretty good. That wasn't so hard. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll get you the orders. Take care, guys.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Staying on page 1, Judge, in cause number 2022, DCV 0298, Mario O'Kelly, Castro et al. Versus Gloria Perez. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jesse Herrera for the plaintiffs.
Okay, had there been, oh, is this the one where Miss Mendez is the ad litem?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and she's still working on things. Mr. Herrera, update?
Your Honor, we're waiting on a breakdown of what Medicaid paid, and that's all we're waiting for. And the insurance adjuster said as soon as we get her that they'll make an offer.
Okay, I'm gonna reset this 30 days.
That's fine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Myrna. All right, who's next?
Bottom of page 1, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2021 DCV 3865, Linda Olivas versus Priscilla Lucia Reyes. Announcement of council, please.
Yes, Jesus de Luna, present here for plaintiff Linda Olivas.
Mr. Radaba? is
He
here.
might not be here, Your Honor. I haven't seen him, but this case got resolved, so I just wanted to give that announcement. So we should be filing a motion to dismiss.
Okay, well, I'll see you in 30 days.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Who's next?
Top of page 2, Judge. In cause number 2020 DCV 2779, Sergio Gallarzaro versus Yardia Haiti Eros Juarez et al. Announcement of council, please.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Ed Valdez on behalf of Mr. Gallarzo, and I believe Mr. Paxton, who's over there, he is here on behalf of State Farm, Judge.
Good morning, gentlemen. Final status conference, jury trial, November 4th. What's the update?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe we're on track. We have expert depot on Friday, as Mr. Paxton's doctor, and then I believe we're set for mediation, and that's something that I do need to confer with Mr. Paxton about, Judge. But other than that, I believe we should be good to go. Unless
When is the
something comes up.
mediation?
I honestly don't know the date off the top of my head, Your Honor.
I can get that real quick, Judge. Judge, also, as far as the trial date, I have a case that is set for October 31st. They say it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks. I hope it doesn't, but I don't want to move for a continuance in this case. There's always a chance the other one will settle, but nevertheless, I just want to let the court and opposing counsel know that if I get called, that's specially set in the 327.
Okay, and I'm sorry, do you have that mediation date?
Yes, Judge, it is September 28th. That's
Woo! So we still have our final civil pretrial on October 5th. We'll see what happens with mediation. I'll just be very candid with you all. I haven't surveyed my November 4th docket, but it was one that I think at the beginning of the year was one that I was kind of targeting, and it has a lot of cases. That's my whole point. So,
Yeah, I do recall that, Judge.
okay, so if it gets resolved, great. If not, then we'll have to look at the conflict and maybe look at another date, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Anything else? Anything requiring a hearing, let us know.
Will do, Judge. May we be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Staying on page 2, Judge. In cause number 2022 DCV 1215, it's the expunction, Judge.
All right, announcements. I thought I saw Mr. Unterrecker. There he is.
No, good morning, Your Honor. Jed Unterrecker, Assistant County Attorney on behalf of various county respondents.
And I don't have an attorney that who is on the expunction?
Mr. Jeff Rago, Judge.
Jeff Rago.
Is he here?
I thought he was here, Judge.
I don't know, Your Honor.
I don't recall seeing him here. So we can come back to this one very quickly. Actually, Mr. Marufo, if you will run a PSR on the applicant, then I think we can let Ms. Rago, we can let you go ahead and leave. I think I'm just going to need some prior history on him.
Yes,
Or she's here. I apologize. No, she's here for the occupational. I'm getting them confused. Sorry, Ms. Rago, I was kicking you out and it wasn't you. Sorry. Let's put in the next case until we get Ms. Rago in.
Yes, Judge. Staying on page 2, Judge. in cause number 2019 DCV 3415, Yvette Castro and Esmeralda Torres versus Oscar Fonseca et al. Announcement of council, please.
Rod Ramos for the plaintiffs.
And Mike McLean for defendant, State Farm, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let's see, final status conference. How are we doing?
Judge, we've taken the depositions of my client, as Mr. McLean stated, he's here for State Farm. Mr. Fonseca and Mr. Contreras never made an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
We are scheduling mediation. However, the only date that appears to be available is November 2nd. So we're going to lock that in. And because of that, Mr. McLean and I have talking to you about, because as you can recognize, the trial setting is, I think, November 4.
Mm-hmm.
A reason for that we're doing the mediation at a late date is my client, one of my clients, Ms. Torres, continues to receive treatment. So we're constantly updating her medicals and we can't lock down an amount, but we're just going to proceed with mediation.
Okay.
And work it out, or see if we can work it out. But Mr. McLean and I are concerned about going to mediation with trial 2 days later.
So are you all going to ask for a continuance of the trial?
I believe we are, Your Honor.
Okay, so I just want to get my head around whether this is one that I need to keep for that date. Since our docket call is during your mediation, I think I would like to move the I'm not going to move the docket call. We'll just change it to a final civil pretrial. I will have it be on November 3rd. I know that's not usually our civil day, but we'll do it on November 3rd. And that's just to get an update from you all. And if it's not resolved, then have your calendars ready so we can look at scheduling, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Myrna, we're canceling. We don't even need that 10-5. Do we need the 10-5 setting? The final civil pretrial that we have now?
I don't require it. That's because the update will be the same, since we won't even
right. So Myrna, let's clear out the 10-5, 11-2, and 11-4 dates and just add a final civil pretrial on November 3rd. And we'll do that at 11 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And then if we need a trial date, we'll set it then. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Y'all are excused. Who's next?
On page, middle of page 3, Judge. In cause number 2021 DCV 3174, Luis Erlo Perez versus Daham Carriers DBA Quick Transport Solutions, Inc. et al. Announcement of council, please.
Ashley Cedillo on behalf of the plaintiff, or on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Okay,
there is no defense counsel on this case. We've had numerous status hearings. Both defendants have been served. One defendant is saying that he is an improper entity. There was some confusion. We have spoken to him. We've required proof that he's an improper entity. And we told him that once we've gotten a proper answer on file from the main driver, who is the second defendant, I believe his middle name is Singh. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the other names, Your Honor. We're trying to get an answer from him on file. He was properly served in February of this year. So that's why we didn't need any type of substitution of service, which we discussed at previous status conferences, but he has not answered. We've reached out to his insurance company. They are again saying, well, he needs to contact us. At this point, we're going to try to get medical records and just move for a default judgment if we can get a status hearing. We've tried to prevent doing a default judgment because we didn't want to risk it getting appealed or anything like that.
So how much time are you going to ask? I think this was, let's see, July, August, September. We've been 2 months. I mean, we went 2 months, 2 months before that, a month before.
If we can honestly just have 60 days to make sure we have everything via affidavit for all the treatment he received, particularly the hospital treatment, to help prove up our default.
Okay, 60 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll see you then. Thank you very much. Who's next?
Top of page 4, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2020 DCV 1352, Jesus Guerrero, Jesus Castellon versus David.
Actually, on that one, Mr. Marufo, I believe we received a non-suit. I believe I signed it this morning. Am I wrong on that? No, was that a different case? Is Ms. Cables here?
I don't have that. Ms. Rios is here, Judge.
Oh, sorry, Ms. Rios. I'm looking right at you.
It's okay. We did get a non-suit, but it was for 2019 DCV 4041.
I marked the wrong case. Apologies, Mr. Marufo. Go ahead.
In cause number 2020 DCV 1352, Jesus Guerrero and Jesus Castellon versus David Herrera et al. Announcement of council, please.
Judge, this is Brandon Litnich. I was representing David Herrera at one time. I believe that we already entered the judgment on this case. Mr. Davis was the plaintiff's attorney.
Is there someone from Mr. Davis's office?
That's it. Mr. Castrillon requested the hearing.
Let me get into this one.
Judge,
Monday.
just to let you know, a gentleman, Julian, called from Mr. Davis's office this morning, and they were going to contact Mr. Castellon, who is their client, because he's the one that requested that hearing, claiming the case is not, it's still pending. And so he said he was going to talk to him. Mr. Davis was going to speak to him about that. But there's a judgment signed from 2020.
This one is just, I'm seeing an odyssey that's been disposed of. I'm not sure why it's set. Ms. Rios, are you seeing something different? Is there anything
No,
left?
the case is closed. It has been closed since 2020. I didn't cancel a hearing since it was requested, and there's a note that says the case is not disposed. I wasn't sure if that was something that still needed to be heard.
Okay, this is very strange. I'm not sure why we're here. If Mr. Castrillon needs to speak with Mr. Davis's office, that's not really our business. So, yeah, this case is closed out. My apologies, Mr. Letnich. I'm not sure why we're here. So you're excused. Thank you. Who's next?
Staying on page 4, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2022 2123, U.S. Bank National Association et al. Versus Rafael Jeriga et al. Announcement of council, please.
Kelly Doherty here on behalf of petitioner.
Okay, and I don't imagine there's anyone on behalf of Mr. Igarreda. Ms. Doherty, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I just wanted to mention, we received, I guess this was placed on the docket, and we received an email for today's court date. I don't know that the defendants ever received a notice. By the time we got the email from the court, it was too late for us to send appropriate notice.
Okay, so let's see, the motion for default. Was filed on September 9th. Okay, well, I don't have a problem putting this down 30 days.
Okay.
That'll give you enough time, Ms. Doherty.
Yeah, then we can send proper notice.
Thank you very much. You're excused, ma'am. Who's next,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Michael?
Sorry, Judge. Bottom of page 3, Judge. I don't see Mr. Dickey. I think he left.
Oh, let me look at the non-suits. No, that was not a non-suit. Okay, well, whoever's ready.
The summary judgment, Judge.
Okay, do we know where Mr. Rago is?
Judge, I just called his office. Secretary said that he's in court right now.
All right, Mr. Unterrecker, I don't know if you want to hang around. You can turn off your camera or we can try calling you once Mr. Rago gets here.
Your Honor, I'll just turn off my camera and once he hops on, I'll turn it back on again. Thank you.
Thank you. There's Mr. Dickey.
Bottom of page 3, Judge, in cause number 2020 DCV 3407 AFCO Credit Corporation versus Hallmark Global Consultants LLC. Announcement account at all. Announcement of council, please.
This is Daniel Avila for the claimant.
John Dickey for the defendant.
Good morning, gentlemen. Notation here says to check on settlement documents, no future dates. So what's going on?
So what's going on is we had entered into a settlement agreement, and I think they've been paying from what my client has been saying, and it's just a matter of, I think the last payment's in January. We can do a status conference in February. That's the only reason we haven't taken it off, because I think there's been previous settlement agreements where the defendant had rescinded or just stopped paying on it. So we wanted to keep this on till he finished paying in January. And if it didn't, then we can move for default judgment.
Okay, I'll set this. I'll set this for a status conference on February 1st, 2023. Mr. Dickey, is that all right?
Yes, Judge, that's fine. I do think my client's been making payments here, and that's correct. We were just trying to make sure that he paid, and then we would dismiss the case once all payments have been made, I think.
All righty. We'll see you all in February. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Who's left? All right. No, Mr. Rago.
Page 4, Judge. In cause number 2022 DCV 2775, ex parte Sergio Garcia. Announcement of council, please.
Your Honor, I apologize. Thomas Carter here for Mr. Garcia, the petitioner.
Okay, and I thought I saw him. Is he in the waiting room?
He's
Yes, let's bring him in. Okay. Is that your client, Mr. Carter?
Let me see if I can find him. Yes, I see him. Thank you, Judge. That is him.
Okay, and so Mr. Garcia, the petitioner, is also appearing. I think Ms. Rago is here from the DA's office. We have an occupational license request. Mr. Carter, you may proceed. I do have the petition in front of me.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client has a pending DWI. He is gainfully employed. There does exist an essential need for him to have an occupational driver's license to get to and from work, and also to conduct necessary activities like banking and health, grocery shopping and stuff like that, Judge.
What does he do?
He's a service manager at Vernon Genej. Mr. Garcia may be able to elaborate on that for us a little bit more.
Mr. Garcia?
You have to unmute the mute button, Mr. Garcia.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I'm a service manager for Vernon Jeans. Been there for 2 years. I've been with the company since 2008. I was recently promoted into this position in 2020, and I mean, I like what I do. My employees love me. I got 24 techs underneath me, and I like what I do, Judge, and I would really appreciate this opportunity to get an occupational driver's license.
So I'm looking, thank you, Mr. Garcia. Ms. Rago, can you fill in some of the history? I'm not seeing, let me check this other information sheet. The driving record, the DPS, the certified copy there, Mr. Carter.
Yeah.
I don't see it as an attachment. Did you include it somewhere else?
It should be, let me see here.
It's not coming up on Odyssey as part of the petition as an attachment, and the information sheet has information on it, but it doesn't have it attached either. If you have it handy in that you can email it, please
I
email it
do.
to the court. Okay.
I can do it right now as we speak, Judge.
And the insurance information as well. Okay, Ms. Rago, what are we talking about? What GWI is this?
There was a GWI in 2012, and that was PTD and ultimately dismissed, and that's it, Your Honor.
Okay, all righty. So pending the other verification, Mr. Carter, I see the
Okay.
hours, and we'll find, at least based on what you all have represented, the essential need, 7 to 7 is fine by me, El Paso County. And of course, that'll be pending the information that you are providing. In addition to that, if you would send me the proposed order so that once I review everything, I can sign off on it. If I have any
Okay.
questions, I'll reset you for about a week.
Okay.
If we need to come back, if not, I may just ask for some additional information.
No
okay?
problem. My staff is really good at submitting that. But I don't know what happened there, Judge, but we can certainly get that over to you right away.
Okay.
And what you
Mr.
need, just to
Carter?
be clear, is you need the driving record and the SR22?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay.
Mr. Carter,
Yes, ma'am.
just for clarification, it's Marina, the coordinator. We do have the data sheet with the petition and the proposed order that was sent by your staff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I sent it to
I'll
the
make
judge.
sure to get whatever it is that we're missing, because we do have it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Yeah, with that,
Thank
we
you,
should
Your
be good to go, Mr. Carter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take
Thank you,
care.
Mr. Garcia.
Thanks, Ms. Rago. Get back to work.
Thank you,
no,
Ms. Rago.
Are you here for other hearings? You are? Okay.
At 11 for the probation.
Okay, thanks. All right. So I think that should get us right to summary judgment now. Ah,
Yes, Judge.
all right. Go ahead.
In cause number 2020 DCV 3335, Melissa Jenkins et al. Versus Ryan E. Martin et al. Announcement of council, please.
Greg Marks here for the plaintiffs. Now, I think Mr. Perdue is also here.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court. This is Carlos Rincon. I am here on behalf of the Ford Motor Company. I'm joined this morning by my co-counsel, Mr. Brad Peterson. He is also here on behalf of Ford, and also John Chambliss from Austin. I believe Mr. Chambliss is going to take up the argument on behalf of the Ford Motor Company on this motion for summary judgment.
Okay, and I think I spoke too soon. If you all will bear with me about 60 seconds, I had some notes and I think I left them on the bench, so if you'll bear with me.